All right, we have g of x equals 1 over x plus 2. Okay? All right, what is the transformation? What are we going to do? Left or right? We're going to go to the left. Remember, we think backwards. Okay, so we're going to go to the left 2. Anything else? Anything else? We good? Okay, now, we're not going to graph him, but what we're going to do is we're going to figure out what the asymptote is, the new asymptote, and we're going to figure out what the domain and range are. Okay? All right, if we shift to the left 2, does that change our vertical or our horizontal asymptote? It's going to change the if we move horizontally, we actually change vertically. It's kind of back. Remember I said it's kind of backwards. So you have a vertical asymptote change. Okay. And I want you to think about this. X plus 2. Where will x plus 2 be 0? Where will x plus 2 equal 0? At negative 2, right? X plus 2 equal to 0 will be at x equals negative 2. There's your asymptote, right? So if x can't be at that negative 2, right, that's your asymptote. So we come over here, negative 2. There's your asymptote, right? So for our domain, what are all our possibilities of x? What are all our possibilities of x? X greater than negative 2. Okay, so that would pull these in, right? And x less than negative 2 would pull in all of these. So another way to write that, if we wrote that in interval notation, we would go from negative infinity to the negative 2. Now, I'm not going to include negative 2, so is that a bracket or it's a parenthesis? Yes. And or union, and then we would pick that back up. Again, it would be a parenthesis, and we would go where? We would go to positive infinity.
Teachers, please find this interruption.
All right, so we see that we have our asymptote right here. So here's the asymptote. We have figured out what the domain is. Now tell me what the range is. Do we have a horizontal asymptote here? Where is our horizontal asymptote? At 0. There he is right there. Okay? So we figured out our domain. What is our range? What are all the possibilities of y? Okay.
Right. Teachers, once again, please pardon this interruption.
Okay.
At this time, we're going to begin releasing for today's
okay, you guys do be real quick.
Basketball game. Students must have a...
Okay. We have 1 over x minus 3. So what is our transformation on this one? We're going down. Vertical shift down 3. Right. Very good. Okay. So when we do that, that affects our horizontal asymptote or our vertical asymptote? Horizontal, right? What did it do? It also went down what? It also went down 3. So that's going to affect your range. Let's do that first. So what would be all the possibilities of y? So our asymptote now really is at negative 3, right? So y would have to be greater than negative 3, and y would have to be less than, right? So in our interval notation, we could do negative infinity to the negative 3, union negative 3 to positive infinity. Okay, so here's our shift. So you see that. Okay. So now here's the new asymptote, right, at -3. Let's do our domain.
At this time, students in the 1200, 1300, and portables, please release to the main gym. Thank you.
Real quick, domain. What? So where is our other asymptote? Where is our other vertical asymptote? Is right here, right? So domain, x would have to be greater than 0, or x would have to be less than 0. Okay? Okay, now we have 1 over x plus 4. Okay, so what's our transformation here? Left 4. So if we look at our denominator, x plus 4, that's going to be 0 or undefined when x equals what? -4. Okay? So you know then, so we've taken that, we've taken that vertical asymptote and we've shifted it, right, to the left 4. So what now is our new domain? X greater than -4, x less than -4. Okay? Now let's look at the graph. Okay? So here's our shift. So here's our new asymptote down over here. So we know that x can be all of the numbers except for that -4. All right, now what is the domain? What's the range? What can y not be? What can he or cannot be? What's excluded? 0, yeah, because he didn't change. So here's your other asymptote, right? So y can be greater than 0 or y can be less than 0. Okay, let's look at our last one. Okay. We have 1 over x plus 1. So what is our transformation here? Up, yes. All right, vertical shift up. How many? 1. Okay. So think about what happened when you vertically shifted. You shifted up. So as you shifted up 1, you changed which asymptote? The horizontal, yeah. You're kind of pulling that x-axis up with you. That's kind of what you're doing, okay? So that means then that we've affected the range. The range has actually changed. So our range now is going to be what? Y greater than 1, or y is less than 1. And our domain, of course, did not change. So if we look, we can come back over here to our original. We know that our original over here is domain can be, x can be greater than 0, or x can be less than 0. Okay? All right? You want to look at, shall we look at that one? And then we'll stop. Okay? And so we shifted up 1. So here's the new asymptote right there. And your other one, since we didn't shift to the left or right, it's at 0, where x equals 0. All right, we'll stop there.